Hello, hello. This is Adelai Brown, your heart coach, and we're getting ready to go live on um, Facebook as well. So just make sure that you guys are tuned in and let's get it. Time for some heart talk. Make sure you look in the banner at the top and you can donate to the movement. We'll be traveling around the country, and I would love for you to help me make that happen. Also, make sure that you pre-order your copy of the new book. Good morning. Thank you guys for tuning in live. All right, we're going live. All right. It is 10:33, and you are tuned into Heart Connections with your heart coach, Adelai Brown, on your community station with international inspiration, kinetichifi.com. I am so happy to be here with you guys today on this beautiful Work It Out Wednesday. We have some great segments coming up today, but this is the first segment of Heart Talk. This is the talk portion of our show. This is where we come to renew our minds and restore our hearts. I want to thank everybody for listening in online and tuning in to kinetichifi.com and the app, the Kinetic Hi-Fi app, Simple Radio, TuneIn app. Also, those of you checking me out live right now on YouTube, bit.ly/Heart Connections, bit.ly/Heart Connections, and also on my Facebook page, check me out at Adelai Brown. This segment is brought to you by the new book, Help Save Me from My Broken Heart, Your Journey to Living and Loving Again. And you can pre-order your copy at theheartconnections.com. It's Work It Out Wednesday. And our inspirational quote of the day, thank you, Charleston Custom Braided Wigs, for sponsoring our inspirational quote of the day. It says, take the first step. You don't have to see the whole journey. Just start moving your feet. With each step, you're getting closer to your destiny. Jesus is always with you, especially when you're tired and weary. I want to encourage you to take the first step. And I want to encourage you to not only take the first step, but be okay with looking like a fool. Many times in life, when it's time for us to live on a higher level, to be on a higher level, to exist on a higher level, to really make it happen, to boss up or level up, like you hear a lot of people saying, there is so much opposition that is coming our way. There are so many negative things that are taking place that are telling us this is not what you need to be doing. You do not need to be starting this business. You do not need to be marrying this person. You do not need to be going back to school. Who do you think you are? Where do you think you know where you're from? Do you know nobody in your family's ever done this? All of those thoughts can come to mind when it's time for you to take that step. I just want to encourage you to take the step. I was excited about today being Work It Out Wednesday because I want us to all work it out. Even as I encourage you, there are things in my life right now that I am working through. There are certain ideas, there are plans that I have been putting in place and things that have been coming to me that I mean, just beautiful, magnificent ways to connect with people, to connect with them, to support them, to love on them, to help them to empower them and help them empower themselves. But let me tell you something, it's scary. These things are huge. I mean, the type of preparation and the people that will have to be involved. But I am committed to taking that step because I am committed to living a life better than anything I've ever seen. I am so sick and tired. I was just having a conversation with LJ. Shout out to Moments with LJ right here on Kinetic Hi-Fi, weekdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. And I was just telling her, I was listening to her interview with Dr. Drew Diamond Taylor, and oh my gosh, it's like I got a free ticket to a personal development session this morning. It was great. And one of the things that I realized was Dr. Taylor said what changed her life was when she went to a personal development conference. She was one of very few people of color that were in the room. And she said, sitting in that conference, something switched, something clicked in her, something shifted in her heart. She took a step. And when she took that step, it shifted in her life. And I remember when one day I had come home from church. It was a good service and everything, but I just felt like I was more in a routine. I felt like I had a good time, but it wasn't necessarily a new experience. It was more of a rehearsed, a routine experience. And I just stopped and I said, you know what, God, it has to be more. There has to be more to life than this. There has to be more to you than what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing and what I'm experiencing. And it's like I didn't have like an official prayer. I was just thinking this thought in my head. And it's like as that was a Sunday and as the days went on, things started to unfold where I realized, no, there is a greater life for me to live. There is something better for me to do. But I have to be willing to work it out. I have to be willing to take the step. Many of us will accept a lot of things, but we won't take things. We will accept people giving things to us and accept things coming at us. But there comes a time in life where we have to go and get things. We have to go and get purpose. We have to go and get fulfillment. We have to go and get happiness and joy. And when I say we have to go and get it, is we have to make up in our minds that we're going to do whatever it takes for us to exist in that space. We're going to have to make up our minds that we're going to do whatever it is that we have to do for us to get to the destination at hand. And then as we do that, we also have to make up in our minds that no matter what comes along the way in that journey, we are going to accept it, understand that it's a blessing, understand that, you know, it's true. This is what it is. I have to embrace all of this. This is all a part of where I'm going and what I have to do. And I don't have to know what's next. I don't have to always feel good about it. I don't have to be excited about it. Things don't have to be working out perfectly for me to get out and do what I need to do. We need to work it out. We really do. Like we need to get out of our normal routines. We need to get out of our normal plans and we need to get into God's plans. We start taking steps of faith, when we start taking those first steps and doing these things with understanding that we don't know what's going to come next, we don't know where the provision is going to come from. When I quit my job in the red. Like I was already behind on a lot of things, and then I quit my job, and it was my birthday, my daughter's birthday, Thanksgiving, my son's birthday, then Christmas, and then a whole new year was coming. But I had to take that step. There was something that was stirring up on the inside of me. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I had to take a step out into darkness. And I had to realize that, yes, the road ahead was dark, but I have a light that is in me. The Holy Spirit is like a flashlight. There's a light that is in me. And every time I take a step, it will illuminate the darkness that's around me. But it will not happen if I choose not to take the step. Work it out. What is it in your life that there are a few things that I've been putting off for a while. And this morning I got up and I started working towards those things. And I said, I am not going to do this to myself anymore. It doesn't even make sense. I help people overcome these things and I'm doing this to myself. Why? We're going to talk about that in the next segment. There's a reason why we're not taking the first step. But I had to scale back and realize that this thing, it is uncomfortable. It is scary. It's something that many of us say, well, I'm afraid to fail. What I think is many of us are afraid to succeed. Many of us are afraid to be viewed and looked at the way we look at other people we deem successful, because we don't want people to feel that way about us and think that way about us and act that way towards us. We want to be liked. We want to be loved. We want to be approved. We want to be accepted. We want to be affirmed. These are natural things that we want. But one of the things about it is when we say, you know what, I'm not trying to be like everybody else. I want to be the best me I can be. When we said, I don't want the identity that everybody else tells me I am. I want the identity of Christ. When we start to take on those things, it's going to cause us to take steps out into dark places and realize that we've been the light all this time, the light of Christ that's in us. Don't ever get it twisted. Don't ever miss the fact that I don't care how dark and gloomy your situation is right now, you are a light in that situation if you choose to be. But it's all about taking a step, taking that first step. Many of us don't take the first step because we're worried about what comes after 20 steps. Jumping ahead, trying to protect yourself. Don't let that pride hold you back. Take that first step. Understand that you may look foolish now, but when you get to where you're going, everybody that called you a fool is going to want you to teach them what you learned because they want to have what you've received. Take that step. Think about it. We'll be back with more Heart Talk at 11:30. We have our National Day segment coming up after this. We have our weather report, our word of the day. We have a lot of good things coming up. So make sure you stay tuned. This has been Heart Talk with your heart coach, Adelai Brown, on your community station with international inspiration, kinetichi-fi.com. Make sure you pre-order your copy of the new book, Help Save Me from My Broken Heart. And if you want something to do on Mother's Day weekend that's going to uplift you and encourage you and really revitalize your life, register for the Help Save Me Mother's Day brunch at theheartconnections.com. We'll be back with more. But remember, take that step. I don't care if it makes you a fool. At least you'll be a fool on purpose. Let's let CeeLo and Melanie Fiona help us with that. Fool for you right here on kinetichi.com. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Those of you that are just tuning in, it is Work It Out Wednesday. You are listening to Heart Connections with your heart coach, Adelai Brown, on kinetichi-fi.com. Thank you for tuning in live on YouTube and live on Facebook. And we're talking about working it out and taking that first step. And the song playing now is Fool for You by CeeLo and Melanie Fiona. That is shout out to my honey Kevin, because that's our song. I'm so focused on what I'm talking about today. I forgot to mention that. But I want to encourage you because I feel like there are many of us that are on the brink of making big decisions, on the brink of doing amazing things, but we just don't have everything mapped out. I mean, you've made plans, but you just don't necessarily see how this is going to make it happen. You got to take that step. You're going to have to be okay with being made a fool. You're going to have to be okay with people talking about you. You're going to have to be okay with being alone, being scrutinized, being lied on. And I know that's not easy, but it's necessary. It's just like for those of us who have given birth to children, pushing those babies out or not, it's not easy. I thought I was going to die with my last child. Oh my God, I thought I was going to die. But it was necessary because if I didn't do it, both of us probably could have died. And I think that a lot of us, well, you're like, okay, I get that with having a baby, but I want you to know that your purpose is just that important. If you don't birth that thing out, it is so necessary. If you don't birth that thing out, somebody or someone is going to die. Somebody's dream is going to die. Somebody's wishes is going to die. Some diagnosis is going to come about. Some new invention that's going to change the world may never happen because you're not taking that step. So we're going to talk a little bit more about why we aren't taking those steps at 11:30. I'll be going live again on YouTube, and I might be able to go live on Facebook. I'm not sure, but I'll definitely be live on YouTube. So make sure you guys subscribe to the Heart Connections channel, like the video, share the video. And those of you on Facebook, if this video helped you in any way, I encourage you to like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff. I love y'all, and I'll be back a little later.